Hello everyone, today I would like to show you what I call the Deathblade build. It's between a Death Knight and a Necromancer and is based on decay, ethereal and electric damages. This build is based around 3 skills that ties the class together. First, the Great Runic Spell Sword with greater decay imbue because of runic prefix. The elemental discharge that will allow the decay bolt and the conjure to get our minion, our dead minion. So the first skill tree that you will need, that we will need to for that build is the Khazit Spellblade. We don't need to take the shield shard since we are not using a shield. We take steady arm, fitness, which are always good to have. Same for Spellblade Awakening, of course we need it. It will help us with mana, stamina and health. I took Infused Frost at the beginning of my adventure since we get the cold boon in the Conflux Mountain, so I didn't need to run to Levant to get the warm boom, just to use my infuse fire. And finally the elemental discharge, which is the most important skill of the tree, because it's the only way in the game to cast a decay damage spellbolt. The second skill tree is the runic mage. We obviously need the 4 runes, Well of Mana and Arcane Syntax. And for the last skill, the internalized lexicon could be really helpful since we are going to wield a 2-handed sword. But for the purpose of the build, we really need the runic prefix. What runic prefix does is it basically amplifies all the rune spells. So, for example, for the runic lantern, the time it just lasts longer. The lantern lasts longer. For the runic protection, it increases all the resistances, so that's really helpful. The heal, the runic heal, give you a nice heal over time after the main heal, which is always good to take. It's not much a difference, but it's pretty nice. For the bolt, the lightning bolt. For the lightning bolt, it increases the damage, so that's always nice to take too. And for the trap, the damage are increased too. As well as the manual detonation. But what is really important for that build is that the runic prefix gives the swords that you invoke Divine Light imbue for the one-hand runic blade, which is always good since it will allow us with the elemental discharge to cast a nice lightning bolt. But most important is with the amplified great runic sword, we have greater decay imbue. which is the spell that will allow us to get the decay infused weapon without a dark vanish. And for the third tree, we obviously need shaman. The reveal soul combined with conjure will give us our dead minion, and combined with the spark will help us to regen our mana when we get low. Call to Elements is nice when you don't have all the boons yet. Weather Tolerance is pretty nice for any build. And Shamanic Resonance will increase all our boons, and that's really helpful for any class that use boons, like all of them. And then we take the Wind Sigil. We don't need the Wind Infusion since our runic weapon is already imbued with light or decay. And combined with Mana Push, so the Wind Sigil combined with Mana Push, Spark or Conjure will really help us to get rid of the bad foes, big ones or groups. To complement the build, I took the Enrage spell in the Wild Hunter tree to increase the impact of our sword swings. At the Philosopher Trainer, we just need Mana Ward to get immunity to damages when we can't avoid them. And at the Warrior Monk Trainer, we just took the Brace to get another block and Slow Metabolism because everyone should have it. Same for Fast Maintenance and Armor Training in the Mercenary skill tree. At the Rogue Trainer, you can take Sweep Kick if you want to use as a good combo with the 200 sword kick skill pommel counter, and the Pressure Plate Training if you want to use them sometimes. So for the mana, I just spent 2 points in it because we don't use that much mana, and we have enough things to regenerate it. The Ocean Fricassee is usually enough, but we can use the Spark on a soul to regen if we find a corpse and don't need to conjure our minion. And in the worst case, we have the Astral Potions for that. For the items, I went with the Jade Scimitar, but the Living Wood Axe or the Jade Lead Mace would do just the same trick since it's only for the 10% mana cost reduction. With that, I used the Lightmender's Lexicon to add another 15% on mana cost. Then the White Priest Myth, because of the 20 bonus damage on decay, the Jade Leech Shrubs for the 10 decay damage bonus and the 15% mana cost reduction, and the Tenebrous Boots for the 5 damage bonus on ethereal and decay damage. Also the 10 mana reduction are always nice. And finally the Lightmender's Backpack for the 10% mana cost. And we add to that the 15% mana cost reduction with the Mage Tent for a total of 75% mana cost reduction on buffing and 50 to 65% mana cost reduction in combat, depending on which runic sword we invoke, the one-handed or the second-handed or the two-handed. But you can also go for the full Tenebrous set, which will just lower a little bit your decay damage and increase your ethereal damage and give you 5% cost reduction more for different resistances. It's also a more roleplay fitting set. And here I show you both sets together side to side so you can see the differences between both of them with the same buffs. For the hotbar, I go with two different hotbar, depending on the need. At the first place, elemental discharge, of course, for the decay or light bolt. Mana push, that is always nice, by itself for the impact or combined with the wind sigil to get a ethereal bolt. The pommel counter of the two-handed sword, so that is while I'm holding the two-handed, when I'm using the great runic sword. Also the wind sigil combined with spark, conjure, and mana push to get a nice AoE and burst on the big dudes and groups of foes. And mana ward for the immunity and brace for the block and knockback. And when I'm using the one-handed runic sword, I go for elemental discharge, mana push, mana ward, wind sigil, spark, conjure, fall and shim to get the electric bolt and the mine, the ethereal mine. And for my buff routine, I just usually go with possessed, blessed, mist, any other resistant boon that I would need. The lantern, if I don't have it yet. The resistance rune. Then I invoke my blade or the great blade if I need to, and then enrage. And I'm good to go. And that's it for my take on the Death Knight build. Don't forget to like, thumbs up the video, share it if you liked it, and subscribe for more. And tell me in the comments below what build do you want me to take next time. I have different ideas between the opportunistic pirate or the Lich King. Tell me in the comment below. Goodbye! And for a bonus clip, I give you the Thief Lord. It's basically the same, but mostly with electric damages and attacks. And of course for the stuff, I go for the Girlish Mask to reduce the mana cost, the runic armor for the 15 damage bonus on ethereal and electric, and also the 5% mana cost reduction, and the Girlish boots for the 20% mana cost.